Yes, it's Monday. It has been a Monday, Ryan. I fully agree. It was one of those days, man, where everything seemed like it was going swell for me this morning until I discovered that I was missing some files from my Dropbox. And for those that are here early, just so you know, this is the pre-stream, folks. This is where we warm up our voices, get our attitude on straight for the show, so you get the best show possible. I want to remind that of people from time to time, so that because I see people pop in and then they vanish before they know what's happening. At any rate, Dropbox files missing. Yes, be aware of who you've given shared access to folders, especially if the folder contains 1.3 terabytes of data. I had access.
Well, I mean,
well,
really, I think that what should happen is there should be a way for you to put a time limit on the access that you grant people.
Yeah, they don't have that either. But the biggest thing you can do is when you're setting it up is you give them read-only access. I had given this person edit access mistakenly.
Mm.
And so that was my mistake, was giving them edit access. And yeah, person there probably was cleaning hard drive space of their own, and when they deleted it, they forgot to tick the box to say leave a copy of this, do not delete it for everybody.
Yeah.
And it deleted 1.1 terabytes of data from that folder. And
yeah, a lot of people don't realize that when you go and you delete stuff from Dropbox, you're not just deleting it from your own computer. Like, I didn't even realize it because everybody's so used to saying, yes, okay, please delete it. They don't even read it anymore. They just say, yes, delete it. They don't realize that there's actually important things you have to check off or uncheck sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
And Dropbox is one of those things. Like, if you do not make sure that you tell it to leave it alone, just delete it from your computer, you're going to screw everyone over. I totally did that to you the first time I used Dropbox.
Yeah, you did that once too. But fortunately, they were all still there in my Dropbox account in the deleted folders, and I was able to click the button to say restore. And I've got another 4 or 5 hours of restoring to get them back on my computer, because it takes a long time to download shit, especially when you're downloading a terabyte of data.
Yep.
Yeah, we're kind of gloomy here today too. It's kind of overcast and gloomy, but not cold. It's warm out, which is nice.
Yeah, it's only 20 degrees here.
Hey, look, you and Ryan are fighting for the first place crown.
We are.
All right. So yeah, this is it here. We've got random stuff for a Monday. And interesting thing was, when I was going through Dropbox, I found a folder that somebody else had, or a file that somebody else had said, I created this. I don't know what happened to it. And I found it had been deleted in Dropbox. So the person accidentally deleted that file. I didn't even think to look there when they were hunting for it. Find some random stuff from time to time. So, hey, fill us in on the latest chicken napping saga.
Well, first, I think Ryan wins.
Ryan wins. Yes, Ryan wins. Yeah. He's got it right now.
Looks like I got a KO there in the chat room. So, for the chicken saga, the most recent update, the one we had in the garage in the chicken hospital, we had her there for like 2 or 3 weeks. Her feathers like finally grew out enough that we weren't worried about putting her back. So late at night, when they were all roosting, we put the frizzy into the coop and we took out the big mean one, who has now been in there in the chicken hospital for 1 week, moving into 2 weeks as of this week. She was so upset at first, but after like 3 days, she started chilling out and realized that she could eat all the food she wants and she doesn't have to protect the water anymore. And like she's actually chilled out quite a bit. And all the other girls, they've stopped arguing. Although over the past couple days, I've noticed that they started picking on Frizzy again. I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to have to find a different home for Frizzy because her feathers curl outwards. Maybe she's just too different.
That's possible.
Yeah, because like even without the big bully girl, they're starting to pick on her again. I'm not sure why, because they were all happy and running around as one crew for like a whole week there.
Hmm.
And something has changed over the past couple days. They're starting to pick on Frizzy again. I don't really know why.
One of them rose to the
I'm
top and they're pushing her back down to the bottom.
maybe. I mean, might also be because Frizzy is just really not the brightest bulb in the box. I was watching them and Frizzy started yelling about something and then she walked backwards out of the coop and fell. Like, maybe she's just not very smart and she irritates the rest of them. I don't know.
Could very well be. Could very well be. Ah, Lord only knows what's happening there.
So the next step for us is after the like at the end of this week, over this next weekend, we're going to be putting the bully back. But late at night, we're going to be turning all the chickens upside down and sprinkling cinnamon on them, like on their feet and like on their underbelly part,
Hmm.
and then putting them on the roost. Now, this is something that was passed on through generations to the lady I see at the feed store. She said like her parents, grandparents, and great grandparents did this every time there was a problem in the chicken thing, and it does something weird to their pecking order, like something about their scent or something like that,
Hmm.
messes with their scent, I guess.
Okay.
And it changes it so they don't actually know who's in charge. So since we're going to be putting the one who used to be at the top back in there, we'll put the cinnamon on so that they're just unsure of everything and have to figure out the pecking order. And hopefully the bully doesn't just rise to the top again. I don't think she will, though. Having a break from all the others has seriously chilled her out.
Well, that can be useful.
Yeah. And I think it's really good. I mean, it's not like the chickens don't have enough space. They got most of the backyard to chill out in.
Yep.
The only time they're squished together is in the evening when they go to sleep.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what has to happen. And sometime over the next month or so, a new chicken coop will be ready for them.
Yep. The new chicken coop is going to be super suave. It's looking good. It's coming together.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice. When I was checking it out this last weekend, it was looking pretty good.
And I'm going to paint it pink because I can.
So I almost spit my coffee out on that one.
I'm going to paint it pink with maybe purple trim. It'll be fun.
Yeah. And,
Maybe I'll make happy faces all over it too, because painting is really good for it. It helps to seal in the wood.
mhm.
But why not have a whole lot of fun with it too?
Yeah, why not? Just fill your boots. Go to town. Make sure it's a super hot pink that can be seen from space.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it makes me think of our cutting boards. So I don't know if anybody out there realizes this, but there's like these felt pens that are food safe. So you can like draw on cookies and stuff. And I got this edible felt pen for the kids so they could have fun when they're baking.
Mm.
Well, the food safe pen is actually just used to draw on one cutting board. I gave the girls permission to doodle on the cutting board,
Mm.
and like our friends will randomly draw on there too, and it has become so funny because eventually it washes off,
Hmm.
and so we just draw new pictures. It looks really crazy.
Yeah, I noticed that. I didn't even give it a second thought. I just wrote it off to the normal crazy.
Normal crazy of my house full
Uh-huh.
of artists.
Yes. Hmm. Oh,
That is
yeah.
one thing. If you live in a house full of artists, there's always got to be some section of like every room dedicated to art.
Yep. You got to have make space for the crazy. Keep it all
Something I used to
flowing.
do when the kids were younger is I would put cardboard up against the wall and then I put brown paper over top of the cardboard. And I never had to worry about cleaning the walls because the kids would just go over to the paper and they draw all over it. It
Hmm.
actually worked out really well because they knew that they were allowed to draw on the paper on the wall, but they weren't allowed to draw on what they called the naked part of the wall.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it actually helped them to learn the difference between what they can and cannot draw on.
Mm.
It's pretty cool. And it also makes for some really fun art at the end of however long you decide to keep it up there for.
Yep. That it would. It would. Keep it all working the way it should.
So
Yeah.
you got any new crazy stories about Doggo?
No, not really. He's just been a normal dog pretty much lately. He's not done anything unusually crazy. Even on the walks up island, you know. Oh, well, maybe I do. When I was throwing the stick into the river, I sometimes think he's blind for the sticks while he can spot a rabbit 200 yards away. You can spot a rabbit or a squirrel 200 yards away, but I throw a stick into the water and it's right in front of his nose and he's looking all over for it. Like, okay, how can you not see the stick? It was really funny when I'm trying to get him, lead him to the stick, and he's just walking around it. Doesn't see it. Yeah, that's the only crazy thing with Doggo. He's been pretty good lately. He's getting better and better and better. Although
You're normalizing him.
He still thinks he wants to eat people for no apparent reason.
Yeah, one of our friends came over this weekend when he was here, and she's like 4 foot. She's like 4'11", really tiny.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he thinks she was a snack.
Oh yeah, he was acting like she was a snack. Yes, it was really no dog. No, be cool, be calm, be cool, be calm, be kind. All of that good stuff, you know, so that we can, you know, acclimatize you, and then we can have friends in the backyard and turn you loose to wander around. Can't turn you loose if you're gonna turn around and eat them.
Yeah, we don't eat our friends.
No,
it's not allowed.
No. No, not in the current climate anyway. Maybe when the world goes to hell in a handbasket, we might have to eat our friends. But then those wouldn't really be the friends. Those would be the friends that you didn't really like anyway.
I don't really have any crazy stories about the cats. Ghost has actually been fairly well behaved. He's only jumped on our head to wake us up at 4 a.m. once.
Yep. Well, that's okay. We don't need much more. We just needed to get to this point so we could play some music and roll into showtime. So let's do that now.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread we're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
Alrighty, must be time.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress Plugins A to Z, not Z.
It's episode 655, and we have plugins for live rate shipping, wall bot blocking, and some WordPress news, all coming up on WordPress Plugins from A to Z. WordPress, the king of content management systems, powering the web with over 80,000 plugins to choose from. How do you sort the junk from the gems? Welcome to WP Plugins A to Z, where we've been keeping the pulse of WordPress alive for over 16 incredible years. Join us every week for an unrehearsed, real talk breakdowns of the latest and greatest plugins, developer and community member interviews. Some weeks, Amber and I team up to dig in. Others, I'm flying solo, unpacking WordPress news, demoing a standout plugin, or sharing tips to power up your site. No scripts, no fluff, just the good stuff from A to Z. So plug in and let's get rolling. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the brewery overlooking beautiful southern Vancouver Island. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amber Overall.
And we got a great show for you today. A couple of quick things. One reminder for those that listen in the downloads, hey, we want to get Amber's face on here. What you need to do is come watch us on the YouTube video. I figured it out. When we get 20 visitors on YouTube at a regular time, that's when we're going to force her to turn on the camera. So we need 20 people consistently over on YouTube. Right now, we average anywhere between 3 and 7 or 8. So, hey, let's up this up just a little bit. So
I suppose we're getting there.
That's also, for those listening to downloads, it's an opportunity to catch us live. And if you come in around 12:15 or so, you can listen to the pre-stream and you can listen to the post-stream, which covers the additional extra questions. All that being said, that's all I've got for you.
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
So welcome to episode 655, A to Z Alchemy, turning WordPress Dreams into plugin reality. Whoops, that's a typo. So we've got a couple of great in-depth plugins to cover for you, some recent news in both the WordPress world and the tech world in general, and a couple of awesome WordPress tips. And I wanted to say, make sure that while it's hot outside, you're consuming salt, but not just salt. There's a whole bunch of different things you need. Like my teenager was convinced that by eating a bag of chips, it was enough salt, they should be hydrated. No, it doesn't quite work that way.
Not the cheap salt they put on chips.
You need other things. You need some sugar. Like, surprisingly, Kool-Aid is the perfect thing to have. Just keep Kool-Aid in your house. It actually has a whole bunch of things that you need in order to stay hydrated. So keep it in the house. Let the kids make it. Also, when I was making Kool-Aid the other morning, both my partner and I were like, oh, that smells like childhood. Just the smell of Kool-Aid filling the kitchen.
It does, yes.
Yeah, it's like you smell it, you're like, oh yeah, that's like every summer of every childhood ever. So, I mean, you got to pass it on to your kids, right?
Yep.
We may not be able to get Kool-Aid here in Canada, but you can order it on Amazon, no problem. It's pretty cheap. The real stuff, not that weird squirty stuff that they're currently selling in Canada.
No.
It's weird.
Well, the squirty stuff is all the sugar-free stuff with all that fake chemical sugar.
And it does not smell like childhood.
No, it doesn't. No, the powdered. You need the original powdered packages, and while you can't get them in the stores here, you can buy them on Amazon.
Yeah, the powder that like fills up the entire kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can dye your hair.
Yep. All kinds of cool things can be done with it.
All right, so a few reminders before we start the show today. You can join us here in person every Monday, either both of us or you'll just get him. And we start at about 12 p.m. Pacific time.
12 to 12:15.
12:15, I should say, yes. Show notes are added to WP Plugins A-Z.com within 24 hours of the show airing. You'll find them in our podcast vault or on the homepage. And this is a value for value show. So help us get some loving by hitting some like buttons. Share an episode or two, or just turn up the show while you're listening to it loudly enough that everyone in the house gets to hear it as well. And then they'll get interested because we're just that cool.
Absolutely.
Our artist today is Grok.
Yes.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Grok seems to be the one creating art lately.
Yes. Well, he's not only creating the art, he's creating the what's it call it? Telling him what to do.
The title?
No. Well, he creates the title, but the prompt. He's creating the prompt.
Ah.
I have him create a prompt, and then I have him use that prompt to create the art.
Yeah, I see you wrote here. He's just such a useful little AI fella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's working. He's working on it. He's working on becoming more useful.
And if anybody out there is interested in sending in some art of your own, whether you created it or you created the prompts and have an AI or what have you, just a creation that you had a hand in and you want to send it in to us, we'll use it as art. Please send us in art. We love receiving art from people out there. We can never have too much. You can send it in directly to our emails, or do we have a art page set up on the site right now?
We have an art page, but we don't have an easy way to send it to us yet. That's one of my projects that I've still got to get to and finish.
Just send it in to me at amber@wppro.ca.
That'll work. All right. Well,
on to the news.
Let's get going.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! And now the news with Amber.
Okay, so the first thing I have here today is the WordPress vulnerability report. In this report, there are 113 vulnerabilities. 100 of these are plugins, and 13 of them are themes. For the plugins, they've got a 50-50 thing going right now. They got 50 patched, 50 left to go. And for the themes, they've got 10 patched with 3 left to go. It's a good site to go and have a look at. Having everything listed out that has been found, I believe they do it bi-weekly, this list.
Oh, it's perfectly timed to our show then.
Yeah, check them out. It's a good list to go and have a look at. The next one I have here is the WordPress vulnerability report from PatchStack. Now, these guys are live and up to date, and they are really good to keep an eye on a regular basis. While having a list is good, being able to check every day and see what's new is even better.
Absolutely. And it helps. And there are plugins and other things that you can tie to a website for monitoring using PatchStack's list.
Yeah.
So, nice way to be able to monitor your website without having to check all the time. Let it tell you when it finds something.
The next thing I have here is the WordPress 6.9 roadmap, block comments, site editor updates, and admin redesign. The admin redesign worries me a little.
It does. I saw
Yeah.
something on the admin redesign on a show I was watching this morning. For some reason, the name escapes me. I got to go back and rewatch it because I was half listening, but it sounds like some of the proposals are going to be really interesting and also massively different.
Yeah, and I am okay with the idea of having things changed, but when you completely redesign an admin panel on people, it messes with the brain. It's not good. Slow changes are better, in my opinion, or like having an option to accept it is even better.
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like they're just gonna big change, deal with it. And I don't like that. But at the same time, what they're saying is a big change may also not be a big change because they're talking about like changing the name of it, but are they changing the entire look and feel? They're not really all that clear about it.
Yeah, well, that's about right. And the last time they did an admin update, they pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because they came in and did major changes all at once. And it's like, I can't find my way around. I think even me, it took me several weeks before I knew my way around it again.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried, but at the same time, maybe it won't be so bad. We'll see what happens after.
Yeah, we'll see what happens as they get closer. We'll have to test some of it and get some reports back.
Yeah, so be aware they are planning on what they're calling big changes. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and as you noted in here, they're planning to drop this like the first or second week of December. Do not update your website during that time period. If it's a critical website for traffic, just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Wait
Just wait.
until after.
Yeah, wait until the new year. Wait until after the
Yeah.
Christmas holiday rush. You know, maybe do it between Christmas and New Year's when the traffic gets slowest, you know.
Yeah, like it's not going to damage your site isn't going to be in danger if it falls behind a major update. In actuality, if you wait until a point version comes out, you're better off.
Yeah, you're way better off. I almost always wait to a point version because point version usually arrives within 2-3 weeks.
I like waiting until 0.2 or 0.3.
Yeah.
I think 0.3 is my favorite one to wait for because at 0.3, pretty much all little quirks have been fixed.
Yeah, I'll start updating at 0.1.
I like 0.3 the best. 0.2
right.
is good too, but each has their own opinion. But yeah, don't change it right around December 2nd.
Yep.
The next thing I have here is meta descriptions are dead. Focus on alt and title tags instead. So this is a great article and it has a good argument on why meta descriptions are dead. I don't fully agree with the idea that meta descriptions are dead, but I do agree that title tags and alt are very, very important and that you should focus on them first and foremost. So it's a good article worth going through and reading about. It helps you understand what the alt tags and title tags are, and it helps you understand how to properly use them on your site.
Yep.
And the next thing I have here is Agentic AI coming to WordPress. Hostinger and Elementor rolling out chat-based site maintenance. I personally do not see this going well. There is a reason most developers turn off all of the automatic everything. It's because AI, while intelligent, is not very smart. Throughout this article, there's talk about not having to bother to mess around plugins, admin panels, just talking to the AI as though the AI was a coworker. I don't think this is going to go over as well as they're hoping. I think that it is a really great idea, but the pre-programmed everything that people are going to keep coming up against and their questions aren't going to be able to be answered, I think it's going to be continuously under, I can't think of the right word, but where they're continuously updating it, changing it. They're having to like pull it out, put it back in. I think it's going to cause a hassle for the first while.
Oh, probably.
It might be cool. Like there's going to be useful aspects of it, but like,
yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. It'll be entertaining.
If it goes really well, I will absolutely eat my hat, but I don't think it's going to turn out as well as we're hoping.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up, we have PatchStack mid-year report flags a sharp rise in exploitable WordPress vulnerabilities. So this is not great news for WordPress, as PatchStack has reported 6,700 new vulnerabilities so far this year, with 41.5% deemed exploitable in real-world conditions, with most requiring no authentication. The report shows a sharp rise in both the volume and severity of the issues across the entirety of the WordPress ecosystem, showing a jump that is a wee bit concerning. This time last year, there was only a 30.4% show of vulnerabilities across the WordPress ecosystem. To make matters even worse, is that nearly 59% of the ones found so far in 2025 can be triggered without any authentication, highlighting the risks posed by automated large-scale attacks. For more information on this, you want to follow the link. It's worth a read through. I would tell you more, but like I can go on about this for the next like half hour. So you'll need to go to the show notes, follow the link, read up on it yourself.
Yep, absolutely.
And the last thing I have here is just something fun. Unleash the Wapoo, a WordPress card game built with AI and open source spirit. I want it.
Yeah.
It looks like so much fun.
Yeah, from what I understand, when I heard about it this morning, it's based on a style of exploding kittens.
Pretty much, yeah. So what you do is you build your WordPress dashboard, you deploy your plugins, and then you sabotage with malware. You can block moves with perfectly timed access denied cards. it's just, it seems like so much fun. I actually want to buy it. It's a 108 card game that is all about engine building and sabotage with a heavy dose of WordPress in jokes.
And it's currently on sale.
Yep, I want it.
It does look like it could be a bit of fun.
So we have a bunch of extras here. Definitely worth looking over them because most of them have to do with WordPress. There's a lot of stuff going on in the WordPress community right now, and it's all worth looking through.
There is. All right, it's Rose Corner. I don't have a whole lot this week. I did have some news. I forgot to copy it down, and so my brain just sort of blanked. But I do have a couple of cool things and a minor rant. First one here is a new plugin that was introduced to me from a fellow on Twitter. It's over at rplugins.com, and I'm testing it out. You might want to give it a go. It's called Click Talk, and it's version 1, and it's a plugin to help you track your time on a site. I'm giving a good test, so probably next show I'll come back with a full-on review of this particular plugin and what it can and can't do for you. So I just thought I'd bring it because I'm so excited. I've been looking for a plugin to be inside the dashboard of WordPress that I can click a button to start tracking my time and click a button to stop tracking my time without going through a whole lot of grief and multiple apps that were off-site and forgetting to open up the other browser. And anyway, this could allow you to capture all that time you work on websites for that 5-minute job that took you an hour and a half, and you just didn't even realize it. So, at any rate, it's going to be a
virtual
cool
time cards.
Virtual time cards, man. And another one is a great plugin that I have forked for improvements. And this is the LLMS text plugin, and it is ready for testing out there for folks. I'm using it on a few sites myself now. And what it does is it creates an LLMS text file that creates the MD files also necessary for the AIs to read your site better and faster. For those of you that want to have the AIs come in and read your stuff, this is a really useful tool. And of course, a couple of tips of the day. Don't forget, Influence WP. That website has come a long way in the last year. Ryan has been doing a fantastic job over there, and the deals that are available now, there's an incredible amount of them, folks. So go check out Influence WP for real deals. No affiliate stuff, just real deals. And then also the repo.org for an alternative repo. And it looks like from Twitter, he'd put out something a couple of days ago. It looks like he might be thinking about some new changes to the site. So let's hope. It's a really great one. All right. And I have my pet peeve, my rant of the week. And this is against WooCommerce and the lunacy that is installing WooCommerce if you don't know where you're going or you're a newbie to it. And this occurred because a client of mine, we were going to get them set up on WooCommerce. Well, they jumped the gun on me, and I put the plugin in, but I hadn't turned it on yet. Well, they went ahead and did that for me. Well, I spent an hour undoing all the extra things that WooCommerce installed, including Jetpack, Woo Tax Manager, Woo Payment Processor, Pinterest, TikTok integration, and a whole bunch of other little things. That, of course, when they talk to somebody, they pump all these things in front of you. I've seen them when I do a WooCommerce install, but I know how to turn that off, go away, go away, go away, go away, and pretty soon I've got the base installed, and then it can be installed, and you can configure it properly. But when the customers do this, they get locked into all these things, or they end up with a overly bloated site, especially if they let Jetpack get installed. So, at any rate, that's my little rant against WooCommerce, because I was just irritated as all get out when I saw all that. I didn't realize they installed so much stuff. Oh, they included MailPoet, which MailPoet we didn't mind, but it's just the fact that it's included in it. They're all automatic products, so they just bring them all in and toss them into you.
Yeah,
So-
and don't forget the new pages that they make.
Oh,
the fact
God.
that they make you a new homepage.
I forgot. They changed the theme on you, too. That was the other thing.
Yeah.
They completely broke the theme, the design I'd done to the client site. It completely broke it and installed a whole new theme and a whole new front page, and a new menu. Put a new menu in
Yep.
too. Yeah, it's just, everything had to be undone. And this is the warning for those of you that might be listening that are just getting going, or your clients might jump the gun on you. So there you go. There's my rant. Rant done. All right, let's wander on and talk about plugins. All right, plugin I've got for you here. This is for all of our Canadian listeners. It won't work much for Americans, unfortunately, but we have a lot of Canadian clients, and I do have a fair number of Canadian listeners to this show. This is a shipping rates for Canada Post shipping rates that are live for WooCommerce. Now, I had to test out a couple of plugins to do it. The first one I went to use, it wasn't working correctly, and I couldn't get it to function, so I found this one, tossed this one in, and this one worked great. Fantastic little plugin. It works great. They've got a lot of additional add-ons you can buy if you want to add additional shippers, such as, well, it might work for all the additional shippers, such as UPS and FedEx and others. I don't know. They may even have a live rates for U.S. Postal Service in there. But anyway, we wanted just the Canada Post for this e-commerce site I launched last week. And it's really great. They say in their description, set up in 5 minutes. Not takes you about 15 or 20, because, you know, you got to go over to Canada Post, create an account and get your API keys. And there's a whole bunch of little things that got to get done. The plugin itself, yeah, 5 minutes. Then once it's set up, it integrates really well with the shipping zones of WooCommerce, which is a really nice feature, so that when you set up your shipping zones, it integrates in it, so that if you're selling to, say, both Canada and the United States, only Canadians will see the shipping offered by this for Canada Post. So on the whole, a really great plugin, and it is free. The free version provided everything I needed. So when the free version manages to do that, we got to give it a 5 dragon rating. Go check it out. Shipping live rates for Canada Post for WooCommerce.
And then we've got my tip for today. If anybody out there would like to add their own tip, like
Their
say,
own tit?
tip, TIP.
That's not what I heard.
Oh, of course not. I'll just blame it on the fact that you're a boy.
Okay, that'll work.
So if anybody out there would like to throw in a story about what they learned because they broke something, or what they needed to learn in order to help somebody else who broke something, please send those stories in to me. Maybe you can pass on some really good advice to other people. So my tip to you today is that no site is too small for the financial bullies out there to pick on. Right now, we seem to be experiencing a wave of, I'm just going to say, bored lawyers and people in general who are looking to score off sites that are going against this whole tracking and tracing thing. It does seem to be, we do seem to be experiencing an uptick in this right now. And after a bunch of research, a lot of these trackers and tracers that are being grabbed up out there are actually coming from things that we willingly opt into for our site, like Google and those plugins that anonymously track people's movements on your site, so you can get a better idea of what they are interested in, where they spend most of their time, what they read, etc. And just so you're aware, some of these plugins and programs don't always wait for the cookie permission. Sometimes they jump the gun and they do a little bit of preloading, which means that they are grabbing up the IP addresses and sending that information off before the start gun of the cookie acceptance goes off. My tip to you today is to do a little research and figure out if your site has any of these, because even if you are a little guy, it will matter sooner than you think. Sometime over the next while all these irritants are going to become law. You can and will absolutely be fined and charged for allowing this little bit of preloading to go on within your site whenever somebody from one of those provinces or states or countries logs into your site. Because right now it's an irritant. Soon, though, it's going to be law, just like a whole bunch of other things that we've had that were irritants to begin with. They became law. It'll happen with this too. And while you're doing some research on that, it may be a good idea to look at accessibility being added onto your site. Right now, we are just starting to deal with this. So it is very much a peripheral thing, but soon enough, the bored people out there are going to start in on that, and then the small fries will really begin to feel the heat. So keeping up to date on this kind of information, what's going on in that aspect of this virtual world that we're in, you're not going to be too small to experience the heat from these things. You will eventually have to deal with this, and if you deal with it right now, you'll be ahead of the curve, and when as a small fry you start to feel the heat, you're already prepared, so you won't have to worry. That's it.
That's it. All right. Yes. There'll be more coming on that in the future. We've got more stuff coming down the pike on that and why it's come to our attention. At any rate, off with your plugin.
So the one I'm covering today is called Bot Lockout. For some reason, it's a tongue twister, even though it's not. So for those who are looking for a bad bot eater plugin that works even when using most caching plugins, this is the one for you. As much as I love Black Hole for bad bots, they unfortunately don't work when you are using a plugin to cache on the same site. If you are interested in learning more about that, you can follow the link to Black Hole for bad bots. I have it here in the show notes. They have all the information from their page, so it's worth looking into if you didn't already know about this. I wasn't even fully aware of this, but it seems like a lot of the bad bot trap plugins are not doing well when they are working with caching plugins at the same time as them on the sites. And the plugin that I'm bringing to you today, the Bot Lockout, actually does work with most caching plugins. It also works with CDNs. I haven't heard anything about bad bots not working with CDNs, but I can understand how CDNs might be a bit of an issue for them. But no, this one works with CDNs too. So this plugin, which is also very lightweight, it has a smart whitelisting options and a flexible configuration, and it uses JavaScript-based cryptographic operations that are easy for humans but difficult for most bots to solve. So once you install and activate this, you will find the dashboard for it under Settings, Bot Lockout. On this dashboard, you'll see a bunch of things. So the first you'll see under General Settings, this has a checkbox where you choose whether or not the bot lockout protection is enabled. You can personalize your block message if you like, and you can choose how many seconds the challenge token remains valid. Default setting is for 86,400 seconds, which is 24 hours. Didn't know that till today. Learn something new every day. For some reason, they have you time it in seconds. I don't know why, but
that's because computers only understand seconds. Computers don't understand hours, days, and minutes. It only understands seconds. That's why 300 seconds is 5 minutes.
And 86,400 is 24 hours.
That's right.
So you'll also see another checkbox where you choose whether to log the blocked attempts. Now, these logs will be stored in the WordPress database, so be aware. Then you'll see allowed user agents. This is where you can add in your list of user agents that you want to have checking out your site. The default has Googlebot, Bingbot, DuckDuckBot, Slurp, and Baidu Spider. You can add or remove at will. Then you'll see excluded pages. Here you can choose pages or paths that should be excluded from the bot protection. You enter partial URLs. So like /AI/ or /feed/. Then you have an IP whitelist. So you can put IP addresses that should be allowed to access your site without completing the challenge. This is useful for testing, and it's also great for trusted services. And then we follow along the tabs along the top. Next over, we have logs, where you can choose the maximum log age in days. Default is set at 30, and you can choose the maximum log entries. The default is set at 1,000. So after it reaches 1,000 logs, it won't save anymore, is my understanding.
It should be deleting the old and bringing in the new.
Okay. They weren't clear on that. Makes sense.
That's usually how it works.
That's usually how it works, and it's probably how it works because they didn't clarify, so it's just going to be how it usually is, most likely.
Yep.
And then up at the top, we can move over to where we have test. And here you can enter a user agent to test the cryptographic challenge. If the user agent is valid, a token will be generated. If the field is blank or malformed and says invalid token, you will see that. Simply click on test challenge button once you've added it in, and you will get a chance to see the results. It doesn't seem to take very long at all to test it. And every time you click on it, it seems to be a new test. You can retest the same thing over and over. Make sure it's still working. And the last one along the top is support. And here you have the challenge process written out step by step for you in simple, easily digestible terms, which is super useful. I like when people do that. Like they write out how it works in basic human language. Really useful. And you can also find the basic security features written out, the performance impact, and you have 4 different avenues offered up for you to get a hold of someone to get some help with something if you need help with anything at all regarding the plugin. I thought that was cool. Usually you get like 1 email address. No, they gave you 4 ways to contact them. So I tested this out on how the heck is it even still a live site? And I found that the plugin plays very nicely with others, and it does appear to be as lightweight as it claims. Whenever a plugin is a little on the heavy side, my easy to kill site dies. It just stops loading anything. But no, it was loading just fine with this going. The fact that this has such an easy and straightforward settings setup is definitely major points on their side. And they work with caching and CDNs, and they're totally free. So they get a 5 out of 5 rating.
There we go.
Next we have...
Keep going.
Next, we have miscellaneous announcements from all. So if anybody out there has any announcement they'd like to have right here, like they're going to be on WordCamp stage or they have a meetup that they want to tell the world about, you can send it in to me and I will put it here for you. Currently, we have the next 5 WordCamps, which is WP Build Tour Bhopal. That's June 6th to August 31st. WordPress Campus Connect Car2Go. July 4th to 13th.
You do know this is August now, right?
Yeah. I think that's supposed to be August 4th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's August now, but my fingers want to type July. It's not my fault, man. My fingers got a mind of their own.
Okay, I just trying to clarify here because, you know, if that was July, it happened last month, so.
Everything else says August. It's just my fingers being irritating.
Okay.
Summer Photo Contest, which is August 1st to 13th. WordPress Campus Connect Azure, which is August 23rd to October 11th. And WordCamp US, which is August 26th to 29th. And if anybody's interested, you can go to meetup.com and find a WordPress meetup somewhere near you. And we have some affiliates to talk about.
We do. And I have no idea where. Let's go with this. There you go. Yes, we have some affiliate stuff. And the first one out the gate here, and we got to talk about them more so than usual, is Termageddon. The reason being is last week I had some challenges with them, and their support system was so fantastic and so responsive in helping me sort out the issues I had. I had a problem setting up a new client. They also had a minor glitch in their site. They were able to correct it and get me back on the road very quickly. And I was just so impressed and so happy with their stuff. I'm working right now to try and get somebody from Termageddon to come in and do a show. And we will be talking about privacy policies and laws. And what Termageddon is, of course, is for managing your privacy policies around the globe, along with managing your cookie consent for your website. And they make it very simple. You just pay annual fee for the licensing. You answer a bunch of questions, and then they automatically write the policies that apply for all the questions that you've answered. Whether you're doing business in Canada, the United States, California, the EU, wherever it is, they have got you covered. So go check them out. Use our link in the show notes, and that way we get an affiliate credit for it. We don't make it, it doesn't cost you anymore. We just make a few bucks for referring you to it. So go check them out. Termageddon, fantastic system for managing your privacy policies, rules, regulations, and cookie consent.
Yeah, we definitely don't like the idea of being affiliates with anyone if we don't like them. Like Rank Math. Rank Math is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, well, Rank Math is next on our list. So
Rank Math is to work with your site's SEO. They have easy to understand instructions so you can go through and learn how to do it yourself. If you reach out to them, whether you have a free or a paid version, they actually answer your question in human language, and they don't just put you off and tell you, oh, well, you need to go buy this in order to do this. No, they actually treat you like a human. So they're really awesome. It's my favorite aspect about them is that they're humans interacting with humans.
absolutely.
Their free version gives you everything you need for the most part, but when you're actually trying to get your site to really pop on the SEO, highly recommend you get the paid version, and you can click on our link for the affiliate here in the show notes. Check them out.
Check them out. Now, the other ones we got two more. I think we'll probably be limited to just these 4 we talk about. First one is bunny.net. If you need a CDN network that you can afford, that's fast, easy to use, and there's a couple of great plugins that integrate into your WordPress website to make using bunny.net easy. Go check it out. It is very affordable. I've been using it now for over 6 months on a $50 credit, and it's not been low usage. It's been a high usage. So it's really affordable for what you do. Even one of our clients who delivers tons of videos is only going through $5 to $10 a month. Go check out bunny.net. Very affordable CDN network that covers the globe. The final one I've got for you is getglow.io or Glow, which is a WordPress dashboard management system. It allows you to manage all your WordPress websites in one dashboard. You can do automatic updates if you like. I don't trust that, so I never do. It allows you to connect to the stats for the site and many other functionalities. You can brand it so that it shows up as all your branding. But the best feature of Glow is the reports. The reports that you can generate with it. It allows you to generate your monthly reports with ease, and they're produced in a beautiful PDF that you can then send to your clients to show them what you're doing and keep in touch with your clients. We've started sending out the reports from this to our clients. Our clients are loving them, and it's allowing our clients to, oh yeah, you do other things. Hey, do you need this? Or we need this done. So that is the joy of it. So go check out Glow. To get yourself a 10% discount on their subscription for life, go to WPPA or put in WPPAZ10, and that code is in our show notes. So go check it out.
And then we have donations.
We do.
It's time to donate to WP Plugins A-Z.
So for donations, producership credits are a thing that do actually exist, and we do offer them every time we receive donations from you, whether that donation is time, talent, or treasure. You can use these credits to boost up your resume, add your LinkedIn file, so on and so forth. And even if you're not interested in receiving a producership credit, check out how you can use us as your own stepping ladder in the world of the internet. Scratch our back, we'll scratch yours kind of deal, where you get yourself up with us, where we give you an interview and we get your name out there to the world, and you get our show into some new ears and help us get heard more around the world. It's a fantastic setup. If you're interested in learning more, you can go check out the information on our website on time, talent, or treasure pages. Today's plugins we covered were?
I covered up shipping live rates for Canada Post for WooCommerce, and it's by Octolize, and it displays Canada Post live rates, automatic shipping cost calculation based on the live rates and their shipping address based upon the address from your store where you'll be shipping it from. It's got domestic, and it does have international Canada Post service rates if you're shipping outside of Canada. Shipping outside of Canada via Canada Post is ridiculously expensive, though. At any rate, I give it a 5 dragon rating. Go check it out.
And I covered Bot Lockout by Cognetics.
That sounds
Not
about
sure
right.
how to pronounce that.
I think you got it right.
Okay. Well, it is lightweight protection, multi-site support. You apply settings to all sites in the network and uses JavaScript-based cryptographic operations that are easy for humans but difficult for most bots to solve. And this is important because most of these things don't seem to use the JavaScript. And I rate it at 5 dragons.
Very cool.
If you're interested in reaching out to us, you can reach out to our brick and mortar address, which we have put here for your convenience, or you can reach out to one of our virtual addresses, which we've also written down for your convenience right here in the show notes. You can check out the show notes on the homepage of our website, WP Plugins A-Z.
It's question and answer time with John and Amber.
So this is where I've been asking my dad questions, but it's kind of turning into, what is your opinion about this? Because I'm running out of questions. If anybody out there has any questions you'd like to have asked here on the show, please send them in to me because I'm running out. My brain is becoming dry. So my first question for you today is, do you know why JavaScript is so hard for bots to solve?
Yes.
See, my brain questions are not all that great anymore.
Yeah, well, it's still knowledge. There'd be a few people out there that don't know. It's because JavaScript has to be executed inside a browser, and bots don't arrive at your site via a browser. They arrive at your site as direct connections and other information. They're not using a browser to parse the script.
Okay.
And that's why. And so that's why using JavaScripts to determine whether it's a bot or something, because the bot can't parse the script. And that's it. That's an indicator that it's a bot, not somebody hitting it with a browser, not a human. It's not always perfect because they have done some workarounds for it that I understand, but I haven't seen them yet. So, but
Okay.
eventually they'll find a way because it's an arms race, man. It's literally
is.
Everything on the internet's an arms race.
So the next question I have here is, what exactly is multi-site support? Is it where you just download the same plugin over and over and set it up the same way on all the different sites? If so, why is that important to note on plugin information for people?
Oh, okay. Now, I didn't understand the question at first. You're talking about when they say a plugin is multi-site support.
Yeah.
You have not been introduced yet to WordPress multi-site. That's where you set up one install of WordPress. You do some code configuration into the config file and other things. And now what you can do is you can deploy slave sites, basically, additional sites using additional domains. Oftentimes they're subdomains, and you can have a completely different website under one domain. I haven't used it in ages. It's like if you've ever looked at the school system for Greater Victoria and you go to different schools such as the Esquimalt High School, the Lambrick High School, any high school and whatnot, or any school, and you'll see that they're all WordPress websites with all the same styling. And that's one of the keys of multi-site, is that you can deploy, if you've got an organization that needs to have their own version of the website, you know, being a subdomain like X school subdomain school district, and you got a dozen schools, they can all each have their own website, but as the master administrator, you can control what plugins they use, what theme they use. All of the things can be controlled from one central administrator, and you don't have to be like managing multiple websites. You only manage one website and it does everything. But it is a nightmare to run. I've done multi-site about 3 or 4 times over the last 6 years. And initially it starts out great, and then little things start breaking, and it's a behemoth to keep managed. So. But that's what it means. It means if it says multi-site support, it means the plugin can be used in multi-site, because not every plugin can be used in multi-site.
Alrighty. Well, that is the end of the first two. We have two more questions after our closing.
All right. So those of you listening in downloads, this is where you got to go over to the YouTubes to get the really cool questions and sometimes some very entertaining discussion, you know, especially if we get a lot of chatter in the YouTube chat and we talk back and forth with the people listening. So at any rate, I'm going to let our girl take us on out. We will be back in a moment.
Reminders for the show. All the show notes can be found at WP Plugins A-Z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A-Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by you, the developers, because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to WPPluginsA-Z.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show through your favorite podcast app. You can also watch the show live on YouTube at WP Plugins A-Z, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. You can also follow the show on X at WP Plugins A-Z. John can be reached directly through the website WPProAZ.com or email him at john@wppro.ca. Amber can also be contacted through the website at WPProAZ.com or email her directly, amber@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
And that's all we got there. All right, on to the next two questions.
Alrighty. So, next question is, I have noticed that people are using Otter and Otter platforms for socials. Do you think that the socials are morphing again, or are they simply expanding and we have more choices?
I think they're expanding with more choices as people want to be in their own echo chambers.
Mm.
You know, they don't want to be in a massive chamber such as Twitter, in that, you know, all voices are there. They want to be in their own echo chamber where they only hear the voices they want to hear, instead of curating their list on Twitter so that they only hear the voices they want to hear and occasionally the voices they don't want to hear. That's what I see happening, because a lot of them have been created because, oh, well, we need to make our own little thing. That's how Blue Sky came about. You know, when
Yeah, and like there's a new one that I hadn't heard about until recently. It's called Medium. Interesting.
Medium's been around a while, and Medium is
Okay.
is a blog.
Okay.
Medium's a blogging platform, the same with Substack.
That's probably why I haven't heard of it before, is because blogging things don't really come across my personal radar very much.
Yeah. Medium was created, it's been a year or two, maybe slightly longer, but it was created as a way for those that didn't want to build their own website but still wanted to blog and try and make a few bucks. Because on Medium, they can publish their articles so that they're 100% free, or they can put part of them behind a paywall. Same with Substack. You know, and that's what those are. I thought you were talking about the social media such as Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky, and all the other half a dozen more that exist.
Yeah, I was talking about those. I didn't realize that Medium was a blog, because when I've seen people who link it in their bio, I go there and it looks like a layout of posts in the same way that Twitter or Facebook looks.
Well, it's probably is, but it's meant as a blogging platform.
Okay, well, my last question ties into this.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take for one kind of platform to fade away and be fully replaced by another? Do you think the timeline will be any different today than it was in the past? Why or why not?
That varies with how fast people abandon it. I mean, look how fast people abandoned, what was that thing before Facebook?
Live Journal?
There was Live Journal too. That's what Medium and Substack have replaced. I'm thinking
Okay.
I'm thinking about it's used by musicians now. FaceTime. No, it was Friendster. Wasn't it Friendster?
Friendster?
No, it wasn't Friendster. That's a
Napstar?
no. Napster is a whole nother thing. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, the thing that Facebook replaced, and then Twitter did a pretty good job of replacing a lot of Facebook. And
Yeah.
then it's like what happens is it takes a while to migrate it, but what happens is you get a certain age group of people in these areas and they stay there until all their friends leave, and then they leave, or most of their friends leave, and then they'll leave. But for the most part, they always stay there. The young kids now are using Snapchat, I believe.
Yeah, Snapchat is like a curse,
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
So it's like, it's often whatever the up and coming generations adopt first.
Okay.
And then the other ones fade away as the users fade away. And so that the time frame on them can be fast or slow. I've seen them fast and slow over the last 25 years.
Okay.
So it's like I wish I could remember the Facebook like thing. What the heck was it called?
So there's no real true pattern then. It's kind of in flux all the time, and whether or not it goes fast or slow depends on the people at the time, I guess.
That didn't get me what I was wanting. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. That one there is going to bug me. And I'll remember it about 10 minutes after the show's over.
No, most likely remember it about 2 or 3 a.m. at the most useless time possible.
Well, there's that problem too. So at any rate, though, that's what happens. The socials, they come and go. I mean, what surprised me was there was one that I used years ago that suddenly reappeared. It's like, oh, that still exists. So they a lot of them will they end up hanging on just by the skin of their teeth and sit there in limbo. All right, well, that's pretty much all we got. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, well, thanks everyone for listening. We greatly appreciate you here, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'll be back next week with another interview, and who am I interviewing next week? Let me go grab that real quick. I've got an interview coming up with
Easter Bunny?
No. I'm not interviewing the Easter Bunny. I've got a full-blown interview scheduled for Quentin Russ. PHP Vitals is going to be on the show next week. I need to get those into our regular download. So, all right. That's all we've got for you, folks. Here's a little music. Carry us on out of here.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun.
Alrighty, folks, that's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Oh my god, that is amazing!
Oh no. Obviously, we just lost the satellite feed.